What resources do you need? And I certainly have heard the Inspector General's testimony, read it. What resources do you need, if any, from this committee to make sure that this backlog is done, that those metrics are made? What do you need?
So, Congressman, I sat here a few months back in a budget hearing, and I believe I said at the time, I need an absolute, unequivocal, 100% IT budget. 100%, not a dollar less. And now, in a world in which we are now building a new scheduling system, that's even more critical, because now there's a heavily competing interest there. We've got to have a full and complete IT.
Well, we have, as Sergeant Major Wall said, we've spent, no pun intended, a widow's pension on getting all the IT money that I can't. It's mind-boggling to me when I hear somebody say money, and I've seen the VA and DOD take $1,000 million, that's $1 billion, and flush it, and I have no earthly idea where that money went to build a system that's integrated. I asked the Secretary, where did the $1 billion go? No answer. And so I don't know that adding more money to me, you say an IT program, if we give you that money, if we provide that money, this very generous Congress does that, because we have provided the resources for the VA. Is that going to be enough, or I'm going to be sitting here a year from now, if I'm fortunate enough to get reelected, and am I going to hear the same thing?
So, Congressman, you were talking about IEHR, which is not a VBA program.
I do understand that. I'm just talking about IT money that the VA has used.
Let me tell you what you have given us. Let me tell you what you have given us, all of you have given us over the last 3 years in VBA. For the first time in our history, we have had dollars funding IT systems we should have had 20 years ago. 20 years ago, we should have had a paperless IT system like the rest of the world went to. And we didn't. We were still, 2 years ago, touching 5,000 tons of paper. That's 10 Empire State Buildings. That's 10 Mount Everest, 200 Empire State Buildings, with little rubber fingertips on our fingers. And today, we're doing it in a paperless environment. You have given us the resources to scan 1 billion of our veterans' most precious documents into a electronic system, so they're not laying around in boxes.
Okay, I understand. Let me go. My time is limited, and it's about up. And I want to go back to the Inspector General and say, how does a claim? I want to make sure that we get this for the record. That looks like that gets moved from way back here. That's supposed to be current. That gets how does that happen? How does a record go from the time it's back here, long term claim, and it gets moved to a stack that it's current? How does that happen?
No. Okay. He works with this all the time.
Just walk us through that fairly quickly.
There's several ways. We could talk how they changed data claim, but let's talk about the provisional ratings with the 2-year initiative. That report was just issued, and it should be fresh. When they did the provisional ratings, that provisional rating had an end product, and you heard the first sergeant talk and describe what an end product was. So let's say the end product, just to make it easy, was a 110. The number 110 controlled this provisional rating. Under their special initiative, when they issued that provisional rating to the veteran, that 110 was gone. So that claim came out of the inventory. So they moved it to put it under an end product 400 to control. But end product 400s are not reported in the inventory that you hear from these Monday morning workload reports. So now that claim technically doesn't exist in the inventory. When the veteran submits new evidence to support the contentions in that claim, now VBA will create a new end product and process that claim in 1 day. So that it was an old claim pending over 2 years. They moved it to an end product that is not reported in the inventory, so that claim technically doesn't exist. When new evidence comes in, now it's a new claim that's 1 day old or 2 days old. Then they work it in 2 or 3 days.
Well, why would you do that? Why in the world would you do that?
Good question. And that's one of the issues in this report that we found is if VBA would have used their intermediate rating process. One of the aspects of that intermediate rating process is to keep that end product going, and it stays in your inventory, so you have a true reflection of your inventory, and you can't lose it.